Alright, this is strategic to tactical, going over the major indices for the week of 22 September. It is now Sunday, 21 September, so I will go over again S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, and a few other indices I'm following. So start off with the S&P. Last week, as everyone knows, you had a lot of hype and regarding the BABA IPO, and also it definitely caused some dislocations in the market, being that it's such a heavy supply of new stock that came out. It definitely affected the major averages, a lot of select sector stocks like your high beta. So but now that's over, hopefully, and behind us, and we can get back to basically seeing how things go from here. So this is the S&P on a daily time frame. As you could see, S&P actually held up quite well, as where the NASDAQ got beat up on Monday of last week. Again, blamed on fund managers raising capital for the BABA IPO. So we broke through this couple week funk. I basically drew a trend line here from last week that we were sort of in this shorter term downtrend below our 8 and 21 day moving average. And the market finally broke through that on Tuesday, and basically had a nice little move here to new highs until Friday, when the BABA IPO came out. And as I predicted, until that stock was open on the secondary market, you're going to see weakness, and that's exactly what happened. Even in an up gap, the market, until BABA opened, just kept going lower and lower and lower. Sort of similar to what happened during the Twitter IPO, which happened the day of, when it took a while to open the Twitter. You had the same sort of phenomena where the market just got beat real hard short term until the IPO actually opened on the secondary market. So anyway, the bulls have taken over again short term, and obviously they've been on the march longer term as well. Strategically, we've, even in these down moves, never tested the strategic bull market, and right now the bulls sort of have the reins back, even on a tactical basis. Although bears will always have something to point at, and they'll point at, well, look at Friday's reversal, and you had definitely had a lot of volume on Friday, and and definitely is an ugly picture just in that daily time frame. So sure, no question that our short-term support is Friday's low, and that's usually the way we real ultra short-term, you're looking at the prior day's highs and lows is your resistance support. So sure, absolutely, Friday's low is your ultra short-term support level, and if that gets taken out tomorrow or sometime during the week, that may have some again, everything being hindsight's 2020, you'll say, well, that was, if the market does come off, that was the trigger or whatever. And sure, absolutely. But again, what we like to do is see how the markets react to support resistance levels, and if Friday's low does get taken out, we want to see, okay, yeah, sure, if this continued selling come in, and if they start hitting it, well, sure, that'll mean a lot more than if it gets taken out and then it just pops right back up, higher, which lately has happened a lot. So of course we'll be on the we will obviously keep an eye on those things, and know when support and resistance get taken out, and see how the market reacts, and react accordingly at that point. So again, if Friday's low gets taken out, the first thing we're going to see is, if it's any good, it should really the short-term downtrend should escalate, and you should and really that support will then become resistance, short-term resistance, and then the market should continue to go lower, test the 821 day, and never look back. So that would be the ultra bearish scenario if Friday's low gets taken out. The other scenario is if that low gets taken out, is it gets taken out. The market just kind of hangs out, whipsaws like it has been over the past weeks. I mean, it feels like forever that it's just been a real whippy market. They take out levels and they just sort of frustrate everyone, right? People who are looking for that big move lower, they whip it right back in your face, get them out, then it'll come back lower, and even if you do end up, lower in the day, it was just on a short-term basis, just, a tough ride if you were short. The other scenario for taking out Friday's low is they take it out and it's a great behind. That's where the buyers will come in and pop it right back into the upper range and then take off and punish anybody who got short and frustrate anyone who sold their longs. So and that's the way we got to think about that support and and even resistance level for that matter. So again, same thing happens if you take out the resistance. You're looking for follow through. If you're ultra bullish, or load it up. But again, lately that's been a tough game to play because momentum has definitely not really been in the market as a whole. So even if you look at this move higher here, I mean, Wednesday, you see what happened Wednesday. They just opened one, took out, pretty much took out this high here, well, came close to it anyway, and then they pulled it right back down lower. That's a tough, if you're a shorter term player, it's tough to stay long that retrace back in the afternoon. So again, it depends on your time frame, how you're playing these things. So anyway, right now, we're definitely in a bit of a, we got to say we're back in a bullish tape, especially if we hold above these Friday's low, and again, we're up here in new high territory. We stay up in here, stay above the 8 and 21 day. We're still in a bullish environment, so we'll see how that transpires. NASDAQ, similar. Actually, it's been a bit of a laggard last week, being the fact that that BABA IPO definitely was the wind in the face of the NASDAQ, and but we did get we had definitely some oversold indicators here after the Monday sell-off. So we had a tactical market extreme indication, basically telling me to look for stocks that have been holding up relatively strong, get long those. But that kind of got worked off after Friday, the move into Friday. So again, you can look at this thing two ways. One, that hey, we've come off the, they had a chance to beat it, but they came back lower. Even considering you had the BABA IPO coming out Friday, the market definitely came off those lows pretty well. Broke this little descending short-term trend here. Got back above the 8 and 21 day. So again, we'll see. We'll monitor Friday's low, see how that holds up, and gauge how how it reacts from here. If it can stay above the 821 day. I mean, if you look at it, as people who trade these moving averages, the 8 and 21 day kissing here. Does the 8 day come back, bounce back off that 21 day, or does it actually cross? And of course, if it crosses, that means that the market has basically taken out Friday's low. If it kisses, it means that we open higher tomorrow and start going up, making breaking above these highs. And then again, hindsight being 2020, it's one of those things that technicians look back. Well, look, the 8 and 21 day just kissed. It was the greatest buying opportunity ever, you know. So, uh, just some potential scenarios to look for here. And we'll start off by leaning on Friday's low, especially again, you had a lot of volume on Friday. Definitely, you could see it just really ripped higher, considering. So, you got to say that Friday's low has a little more weight than a normal reversal bar, I guess. And we'll see. We'll see how it plays out going into the week. But that'll be our first line in the sand going into the week. So, and again, then it's just a matter of, hey, we take that out, we go lower, and then you look at the next layer of support. Next layer, would say, hey, the 50% of the week's range, could be, a level here, and then the next level low would be the week's low, which was, that reversal on Tuesday. So, again, everything then is just a frame of reference and how the market reacts to those frames of reference. You can tell here this longer term trend here is still way in attack. That's breaking back out more to a strategic realm where, again, we're still in that strategic bull cycle. So that's the NASDAQ. Again, what's been lagging is the Russell. We've been talking about this for a while now, that it's definitely has been lagging. We definitely had some relative weakness all week last week. Again, I guess the first stocks that people were liquidating in preparation for the BABA were stocks in this index to get some BABA, raise some money for it. So it definitely showed last week the relative weakness in the Russell. So again, it's something to keep in mind. We'll see if this does turn. If we do get a bullish tape into the week, that maybe they come back for these type of stocks, small caps. But again, looking at frames of reference here, I'd be leaning more on the week's low here because we're quite close to last week's low with Friday's reversal. So that would definitely have more weight than Friday's low, being that they're so close. So that is, again, this is the ETF. So 113.40 is going to be should be a pretty good level here to see how we do it, see how we hold up there. Also, these averages, this is the 100 and 200 day, and they're just almost exactly the same, which is pretty interesting. So break below last week's low definitely confirms we're below that 200 day for sure now, and we'll see. Again, it'll be the second time in 2 months that we've really traded off the 200 day. And the last time we did it was in here, where we were down below the 200 day for maybe 2 weeks, and then it came right back. So, but what's interesting this time around is that we did not make a new high. We've actually made a lower high. So again, something to just put in the back of your mind that we definitely made a lower high here. This downtrend since that started back in early July is definitely still intact here. Again, we especially since we broke this short-term uptrend, and now we're in this little again, it may be a just a rest where we then want to break this downtrend, or it's just a continuation lower. And again, last week's low will be the first line in the sand here. We take that out, then there's a better chance, obviously, that we trade back down to these lows here. And then more likely, if the Russell's that weak, so is the S&P, NASDAQ, even though, then everyone's going to say, oh, look, see, the Russell led us lower, and all right, I guess you can make that case. But on the flip side, if the Russell does stabilize here, maybe consolidates a little more, or makes a run, break above this downtrend, well, then that's something we will adjust to as well, and say, okay, well, you know what, maybe this, obviously that would change the composure, at least shorter term, for the Russell, something that we will keep an eye on. So another thing that I've been watching is this junk bond index, which has had some pretty good back in that the lows of July, early August. Definitely had some. Seemed like it was a day or two ahead of the equities. Don't really see this being that much of an influence anymore, especially since, although at the same point, where the market is kind of held into that, we had that short-term downtrend. This got beat pretty hard. So I think it definitely was a headwind for the indices, even though obviously the equities have been now proven stronger than the fixed income space, at least over the last couple weeks. Still something to keep an eye on. Again, if you're a equity bull, you probably definitely don't want to see this thing, smacking back below these lows here, and then going for these lows. I think that would definitely continue to be an issue for equities. So as long as this now stabilizing here, maybe it just builds a sideways, then it can. Again, I think this down move this index definitely had played a headwind in the equities during this time frame. So we'll see now that it's done a little bounce here. See if and if this thing does rally, it may be the tailwind the equities need to go higher. So. That's all I got. It's been a little, on the short-term time frame, it's been a little frustrating. There's been opportunities, I think, especially ultra short-term. With the Bob IPO, there were definitely some real short-term opportunities. When they had those dislocations with, it was kind of obvious that the market was going to be weak, and basically, into that BABA. Opening in the secondary market, the sell the news for Yahoo type thing. That was something that I think a lot of people took advantage of. So there's definitely some short-term. There was some short-term opportunities in that space all week. So, but as far as the way things have been, it's been just kind of whippy, but things are still tracking higher. If you're a long-term investor, that's the way. It has been the way to go, no question. But again, opportunities do arise where it's a good idea to either leverage your longs or get short some things against any longer-term positions you have. As a hedge, if anything else. So, and we'll continue to just play it in that respect. That's all I have for the going over the major indices. Thanks for watching.